Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we're doing 1994's Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Yep.
Um, Video store totals, because we do them sometimes. We're very inconsistent. Um, Director, obviously, Wes Craven, written and directed. Uh, the budget was 8 million and it made 19 million back. There were 4 kills and no nudity. Uh,
Yep.
Jerry, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one because
Okay.
um we've discussed it. I mean, towards the end of the videos, we've discussed this one coming up, and
Right.
as we've talked before, I'm not a fan of this one, but you
Right.
seem to be. So
Yes.
I want you to sell me this movie while I tell you that you're not right about it.
I'm not right. Exactly.
So
All right.
what grade do you grade this
All right.
first?
This is an A plus. This is
Okay,
an
this
A
is
plus. Is
definitely a C
this is
for me.
not an S for me, which I would like. I was having a hard time with the S to A plus,
Okay.
but there are faults that I do find in this movie. It is not a perfect movie. It's just a really damn good one.
That's for okay.
But like I like this. I like the Freddy like mythos where Freddy Krueger has now because Freddy Krueger in the 80s was so big. Like Freddy Krueger was so popular that now it has moved into like real reality. And that's what I really like about this movie is that no longer do we have actors portraying characters, we have like actors portraying themselves as characters, you know, and I really like that. Really enjoy this. Like, it's the beginning of his, like, so meta, it makes it real. Like, you don't have Scream without this movie at all.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a practice run at Scream.
This is a practice run.
Um, okay, but to that end, the story doesn't make sense because they've explained Freddy 3 or 4 times now,
Right.
and now all of a sudden he's a demon, a dream demon, that since they killed him off in the movie world, he has to cross over to the real world.
This isn't the Freddy Krueger from the movies. This is
Yes, it
something
is. Yes,
no,
it
this is
is.
something completely
He Wes
different that has
Craven literally says it is because we killed Freddy in Freddy's Dead that this demon is here
he
now.
is just trying to put knowledge onto something he
No,
does not
you're just
understand.
deciding that.
No
You've
way, man.
decided, Jerry, the movie says it. It's the movie
Nah, this is
story. So you don't get to make your own story in your head for the movie. If the movie says it, then that's what it is.
nah, this
So
is
when
like
he
it
says the
that thing
reason this
chose
thing is
Freddy.
here
It could have
is
been the big
because,
bad
look,
wolf. It could have been anything, but he chose Freddy Krueger.
no, it's Freddy
Mm.
because they killed Freddy in the movies. That's why.
Uh,
That's why they trapped him in the movies again with this movie.
okay.
Um, it's its own little last action hero style movie, and
I never looked at it
it's
as
not
Last Action Hero,
and
like
it's
that
not
idea.
good. There's like
Nah,
the only thing that I can see that is good, like I like the idea of it being meta. I like that Nancy is, Heather Langenkamp is just Heather
Heather.
Langenkamp. I
Right,
like Wes, I like Robert. That's all fine and dandy.
right.
Now, okay. Um, but when you're trying to take like again Wes's explanation, but they already explained Freddy, so now he's just a dream demon, and maybe that's the little Siemens that we see because
I-
Cage makes the little oatmeal demon face,
okay,
and there, so that's what is actually Freddy, but he's manifesting in the real world as Freddy because that's what they know.
right,
Maybe that's a concept to it, but that's me imposing logical thought because in the movies that's what they kind of said previous this one is those demons came inside of Freddy and made him a dream murderer.
No
So
wonder they look like Siemens.
yeah,
Fucking
and so like that's, but then if that's the case, then they could have chose anything, but they chose Super Freddy from number 4. So it really doesn't make sense.
no, like I say, okay, like in my interpretation,
No,
okay,
no.
well, I mean, it's in
This isn't music.
this
There's
is
no
yeah,
interpretation to
but this
lyrics.
is, the eye of the beholder, okay, and from what I can tell is there in this world there's only Nightmare on Elm Streets with Heather Langenkamp as a movie, as a separate movie, okay, and the rest of them just got out of hand. New Line Cinema dropped the ball, got crazy, and then they're coming back to make this movie. All right, and in this movie they're saying that Freddy Krueger has gotten so popular in the mythos of Freddy Krueger has
No,
gotten so popular that this thing has latched its entity on anything Freddy Krueger.
no.
That's why he's big and bulky. That's why, like my favorite thing in this movie, and the only thing, like the one thing that I have that is like why it takes all entities of Freddy Krueger is the glove. Okay. The first viewing of that glove is stupid, right?
The robotics.
Well, I'm just talking about the look of the glove instead
Oh,
of having the
yeah,
normal glove, right?
right.
So you're going, why did they create this glove? Look at the poster from Nightmare on Elm Street 1. It's the glove from the poster on Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
Okay, which glove? Because there's 7 different types of glove
No,
in this
the
one,
the
and everybody has the glove.
the Freddy Krueger claw, when he has the hand, okay, and it's got the metal like
But he
bits
has bone
around.
hand. He has
He's
bone
got
hand.
he's got bone hands,
And you're
right?
talking about the thinner, more adjacent to a fingernail looking.
Right, and it curves up. If you
Yeah.
look at the poster for Nightmare on Elm Street 1, okay, that's with Heather in the bed
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
the hand is coming through. The hand that they painted, the artist didn't know, like, just draw a claw glove, on top of her, like holding like that. If you look at that poster, it's the same glove that they used for Freddy Krueger.
So it has the skeleton bones on it and stuff.
The whole 9 yards. It look even has like if you look, they put like veinies. Like if you notice that there's like
Yeah,
tubes
there's
and
like
shit.
blood tubes. Yeah, that
Right.
was another thing that didn't make any
Yeah,
goddamn
but it's
sense.
just because it's an abstract painting, because you have Heather Langenkamp laying in the bed. I'm looking at it right over there. So you have Heather laying in the bed, and then like there's bones, and then there's like pieces of metal with the curve isn't
Mhm.
in it, but it's a straight blade with a small bent on it. But they've just put like, oh, it's Kung Fu Freddy. But
Okay. Well, I mean, that's cool that they did a throwback. That's like
yeah,
having the original Scream mask in
they
Scream
took
5.
all entities
Um,
of Freddy Krueger throughout those movies to make this Krueger, you
but
know.
again, Freddy is a sleep demon that they killed off, and that's the only reason they killed him off. So now he's coming to the real world because
Right.
he doesn't want to be killed off.
Yeah.
So
That I got that part. Okay. Yeah. That makes like that the movies like what like chicken or the egg.
your interpretation of the movie is fine for you, but that's not what is actually happening in the movie, and that they specifically tell you what's happening in the movie. So me watching the movie, having them explain it to me, I go, okay, well now this is stupid.
Does it, you think it's
The
Freddy Krueger from part 6 and he's coming back?
Well, no, I not part 6, but I think because
Well,
of part 6, he is doing it because that's literally what Wes says. He
right,
goes, because we killed him in the last movie, we need to, he's coming through into the real world,
right.
and we need to make one more movie to kill him in this world, basically.
Right.
And that's why he's like,
That
oh,
and not only mentioning that, but that's the movie that he's writing, not the movie they're in right now. Whoa,
but
bro.
it's both. It's
It's
both at the
both.
same
Yeah,
time
because
somehow.
they're reading the script, which is a
Right.
great lot like
Yeah.
creepiness. Like there's so many great creepy
Yeah, if they would have
elements to
done that
this.
Goosebumps-esque thing where you open the book and the words are appearing on the page,
All right.
like that's the feeling that it gives. And I don't mind that. I
All
think that
right.
that's good. My issues with this is, why is Freddy fat? Why did Freddy change his hat from
No.
green, from brown to red? But the thing is, like, Freddy's face and bulkiness looks exactly like Super Freddy, which you hate.
Yeah.
And then now you love him in this.
I don't know. I guess it's the look that they
And
gave him.
it
Like,
looks the same as Super Freddy.
well, no, I'm saying like the just the style look of the Freddy Krueger. I know it looks like, but it's not, like it has the same dimensions of Super Freddy, but
The
like,
only
and it's played by
plus,
Robert Englund.
well,
So,
yeah, but the who knows if that Super Freddy was Robert England? Who
and the
knows?
eyes, I'm
But
glad
the
like they gave
eyes,
him like
I like
the
those eyes. Those
the
eyes were
the
good.
and especially like when they're in the grave after the husband dies and like he's pulling on Jacob.
Mhm.
Is that the
Cage,
little boys? Oh, Gage.
Cage,
Okay.
Cage.
And he's
It's Cage
pulling on
from
him.
some Pet Cemetery.
Pet
So
Cemetery, yeah. So yeah, when he's pull and then like he lifts his head up and like every like reveal of Freddy Krueger in this movie is cinematic and amazing. Like there's
yeah,
never a moment where like we don't see Freddy Krueger. That silly shit that Freddy Krueger does is like not in this, and
right,
he's way more aggressive. The only
yeah,
silliness in this is like when okay, so we get to see oh fuck babysitter Julie.
Julie, yeah.
Fucking so he's dragging Julie up over and doing the nightmare one thing,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Regurgitating that
yeah, but well, homage. But he's doing that,
regurgitation, yes.
but we get to see it this time because
That
in the
was that was the improvement to,
right
I was going to say there was the improvement of the kill. But
and
yeah.
even with that, like it seems way worse. Like when I think of Tina's, like Tina's is probably the number one kill for me. But now seeing Julie, it kind of makes it creepier, especially because we're doing it in this white room. There's no shadows compared to Tina. Tina's like in a dark room with the
Mhm.
shadows, and it's more haunting. And then obviously the silly part is he like he's walking around the ceiling talking to Gage and shit and fucking like I can't remember what's the goddamn little boy's name. Fuck.
It's Cage.
Oh,
Cage. It's Cage.
is it? I
No,
thought
but
I
in
thought
Pet
oh,
Cemetery it is. So
oh,
that's what I'm going to call him. I think
I
it's
know, but
Dylan.
I'm trying
It's
to
Dylan
it's
in
Dylan.
this
Yes.
movie, but
I was
I'm going to
thinking
call him
Jacob
Cage.
from part five
Oh,
because the
okay.
little boy's name is Jacob in
Yeah,
part
yeah.
five. Then they look way too similar,
They
those
do
two
look
little
awfully
kids.
similar, yes.
All you gotta do is have a weird face in Hollywood, and
Yeah.
they're like, "You want to be in a Freddy Krueger movie as a little kid?"
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, even that, and like, especially now knowing that Heather Langenkamp at the same time was going through a stalker, not at the same time, I think a little earlier, but she
Mhm.
was going through the stalker
Mhm.
thing, and they used some of the things that the stalker did. 1 2 Freddy's coming for you on the
Mhm.
phone and shit.
Yeah.
She had to go through that, and that just
Yeah, and then
elevates
it
it
was really
more.
cool that Wes made her go through it again on set, to
You know,
traumatize her further. Uh,
it's to use that trauma and make horror from it. I mean, West has always done
right,
that.
and if that's
Fucking,
what he wants to do with his life, that's fine.
it's not like
But to take your main star's trauma, right,
what
but it's
they
not to
did
that
there,
extreme, but they're still
but they
taking
just
her trauma and using it as a
use that
movie.
reality to make
Yeah,
something
right.
from it. You know,
Hmm.
God, he's
You
just
make a
poo
lot
pooing
of,
all
dude,
over
you make a
this and
lot of
shit.
excuses for this movie.
Wow.
All right, so outside of the why is he fat and he is super Freddy in this one, the
Okay.
regurgitation thing, the only reason I like that kill is because we get to see more of it. And obviously special effects are a lot further advanced in the 10 years
Right.
between these two movies. So it was cool. It was cool to see that. I did not like the fact that they did the screw your past thing. That was stupid. And it just
Yeah, that one got
immediately
a
made me
little.
mad.
It was
Because who
better
has a
in
pass? Who has a
the
pass in a fucking no.
okay.
Like, but because your pass, it's not a fucking hallway. And it's the 80s. You could walk wherever you wanted in a hospital
Right.
smoking
Like my
cigarettes.
fucking kids in here.
Um, yeah.
So the
But
90s.
then everybody has a chance to do their Freddy thing. You know,
Right.
like they give the main nurse a Freddy claw. They give the this person a claw. They give the like everybody is just getting their chance to do the Freddy thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it it takes away from Freddy. And they use Freddy so minimally in this one, as they probably should,
Yes.
because he's Fat Freddy. If and it's weird that they chose Fat Freddy because you see Robert England looking extremely skinny as he always does. So why would you make Freddy fat? I guess
I
it's
think it's
just
just the
it's
prosthetics. It's
I think
bees.
it's to
Bee stings.
well, I think it's to associate like disassociate Robert England's Freddy from this real life
This.
Freddy.
Correct. That's a good
So
point.
I get that, but you still could have made him fucking skinny and you could have made him die from like he could have killed Robert and then that would have been
I
you're
think that
like
would have been
that would have
something
been
they're
you're like,
missing.
oh,
Like it
whoops.
would have been good to have the the Freddy Krueger, Robert England like moment,
Yeah,
like
they should have killed him
where
off, and then that would make your brain click into, oh, this isn't that.
yeah,
This is its own thing.
this
It's an
isn't Robert
entity.
England like that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's another idea for this movie. It's Robert England the whole time.
Yeah, yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it, they killed Freddy Krueger off and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's Robert. Fucking, I was a goddamn star.
Yeah, yeah. Um So, and then the funny thing is they put Cage on the highway again and almost gets hit by a truck again, except
Right.
this time the truck doesn't hit him and they don't have to bury him
Giant
in
Freddy
Pet
Krueger
Cemetery.
glove. That's some of
Um,
the still, and they had like a million Freddys out there on that highway and
yeah, and that
shit.
was the
And
quickest shot ever because it looked stupid. And
yeah,
they realized it looked stupid because pretty much everybody was wearing a white mask.
yeah,
Nobody was wearing a Freddy Krueger mask.
yeah.
So yeah, but um I was laughing when Cage was on the highway, like, oh, here comes the big truck. Like, but
Of course
then
it is.
and then
It's
again they do the Freddy in the clouds thing, like they did from three. And it's like
three.
you're
Yeah.
regurgitating that special effect for
Homage.
this one. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. They're reusing it. Homages are done by other things. Like if a Jason movie did it, then that's an homage. When you're doing it on
Mm,
your own shit, it's not an homage anymore. It's you're reusing it.
yeah, okay.
Um, if you make two ham sandwiches, you can't call the second one an homage. You're just using the same ham to make the second sandwich.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, I mean, and the movie is mostly like Heather being tortured by, or not tortured necessarily,
Her
but
past,
by
the
being
decisions she
annoyed
made in
by
life.
no, just being annoyed by the stalker and losing her husband and all this stuff. And it doesn't even become about Freddy again till like the last 30 minutes of the movie. I think an hour and 15 minutes into the movie is about where it starts actually being like Freddy Krueger's here.
Well,
Um,
like the idea, the like, okay, so you're an actress, you're in this movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. The character Freddy Krueger has become like fucking Santa Claus, as she says,
yeah.
and now you have to tell people in reality that the character from your movies is after you. And
That's the
like,
last 10 minutes of the movie. I'm not talking about that. That only happens in the last like 20 minutes of the
eh,
movie. The rest of the movie is earthquakes, her doing an interview on TV, her talking to Wes Craven, earthquakes
Robert
in
Shea,
between there. Yeah, Robert Shea a little bit, and
Robert
then
Saxton,
yeah,
Robert
and
Saxton.
so it's like and then Robert Shea, but then it's like, where's Freddy? Why is Freddy not in this movie? They pulled a Halloween 3 by putting Freddy on the TV screen and having Cage watch it a little bit. And then at the end, they're like, oh, here's Fat Freddy. And
Right.
then he gets like his chance to like do his thing. When
Mm,
Freddy's on screen, if his glove was different, I would be a lot more forgiving of his fat. But
right.
because you're right, the cinematic looks of him, he's a lot more aggressive. He's a lot more just like straightforward slashing,
Right.
which is what I want because he is a terrifying character. They
Correct.
just did it at the wrong time. If they would have done this consistently through the movies, I'd be a lot happier, especially towards the latter end of the movies being four, five, six, and then this one. But for me, it's just like there's very few positives to this movie. But yeah, I mean, there was better ways to do this, and it just didn't hit for me. I'm glad you like it. You know, at least somebody out there does.
Yeah.
I'm sure I don't know if I fit the majority or the minority of this one, but yeah, it's such a left turn, and there was good ideas, but they just weren't executed all the way for me. So
They
yeah.
were for me. So,
Cool, cool, cool.
Jacob, are you gonna go see it in the theater?
I don't think it's a cult classic, and no.
Okay. Is this a cult classic?
Uh, you always start with that one. That's weird that you switch these two.
I'm fucking. I got.
See, you're trying to throw it out of line like these
I'm
fucking Freddy
unpredictable. I'm
movies.
in
Is it
fucking
a homage
predictable.
to
I'm
something? Is it a homage?
unfucking
Um,
predictable.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not a cult
No,
classic,
no, it's
and you're
definitely
not
not.
going to the theater. I'm going to the theater,
Okay.
and because of how much hate it gets, yeah, it's fucking cult classic. The fucking
But see, that's the thing. I don't know. Does it get hate? Do people dislike it? I don't even know if people dislike it.
please,
I
hold on. Let me.
so don't.
Does it? Do people hate fucking?
I do, yes,
I
but
yeah.
we are not the only two people in the world.
Uh,
So I don't know.
as of
Do
right
other
now, fucking
right. Right now
there
it's
is
a
a
50-50
cult
split. Right.
to
But
this and shit. Fucking, it's like let's
but
see.
seriously, do you know what
Look,
the overall like thought is on this
all I
one?
know is that when it came out, people did not like it.
Okay.
People because it's
Let
like,
me
oh,
see
let's
if
see Freddy
it's
Krueger do Freddy Krueger things, and
critical response.
it's
79.
it's obviously like it made money because it's a Freddy Krueger movie. It's proven,
All right,
like
so here's the critical response
Wes
on
Craven coming back to direct it, and people are going to go see it. But when they walk out of
dude.
that theater and go,
Heather looks so good in this movie. Like her
yeah,
long curly hair, her blue eyes. I was like, God
yeah,
damn, she is aging really nicely. So the critical response for this one was on Rotten Tomatoes, 79%, 42 reviews. So that are positive.
right.
An average film rating of 6.4 out of 10. So it's more positive than negative.
Well,
But what
yeah,
the
that's the
consensus is Wes Craven's New Nightmare adds an unexpectedly satisfying, not to mention intelligent meta layer to the horror franchise that had long since lost its way.
uh
So it's 64 out of 100 for most people.
right.
Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but all I remember is like 90s, like
Mhm.
the like kids in the school talking and being like, "Yeah, I saw a new nightmare. They made Freddy Krueger stupid because Freddy Krueger was cool, but Freddy Krueger's stupid in this
Even
movie." That shit.
Robert Ebert said that it was strangely intriguing for him to not be a fan of all of the other ones. Siskel
Yeah,
gave
but
it
Siskel
two
and
thumbs.
Ebert were the first like critters of like horror movies or anything weird.
Yeah, Cisco gave it two thumbs down.
Yeah. I'm gonna give it two
Yeah.
thumbs down because I don't like horror movies and fucking dumb. Who give a shit? Fuck those motherfuckers.
Lacks the
I will.
trance like dread of the original and the ingeniously demented special effects of Dream Warriors. I agree. See, that's what I'm saying. I agree. But I still don't. I feel like I'm still the minority. It appears on
No,
this
you know. I mean,
because based on
Debbie.
Rotten Tomatoes and
And
uh,
don't believe Rotten Tomatoes anyway. That shit's like fucking reading Wikipedia articles and shit can be
well,
changed.
right. But I mean, even on IMDb, it's got a 6.4 out of 10. So
Yeah.
that's mostly positive, or it leans heavy to the
Those are
positive.
just fucking people that are trying to think like, oh, that's the cool one, you know.
Yeah,
It's
well,
the out of bounds one,
that's how
you
I
know.
think a lot of people probably do like that.
Physical copy you own, I own a physical
Yes.
copy. All right, cool.
I might scratch this side of the DVD so I never have to watch it again.
Hmm. But the
You see, you feel all that like slight rage in yourself where you're like, this is fucking,
rage.
he doesn't, yeah,
No,
bullshit. Yeah, yeah, you keep playing. Um,
I'm not
that's
angry.
exactly how I feel when you
It's your
come to the
opinion.
table.
What am I angry about? It's your
Yeah,
opinion.
okay,
Okay.
sure,
I'm not
whatever.
sitting here like,
Um,
oh, it's your opinion, but you're fucking wrong. No,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not that guy.
that's what you're thinking. You're not expressing it. But when you go, okay, you're saying it without
I'm
saying it.
listening, motherfucker.
No, no,
You
no,
got a
no, no,
topic. I'm listening.
no.
Okay.